Hey everyone, thank you for joining this week's Tea and Crumpets. I'm Gloria S. Crump, the Queen of Real Estate with the Coastal Leaders Realty Group. And this week we have our special guest, Polly Grimm with SWBC Mortgage. And you might have seen her on a couple of other episodes that we've done. So thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and so Polly is going to go into a little bit, with differences of what a pre-qualification letter is versus pre-approval, as well as some loans that y'all have to offer. So first, what is, for some people that are looking to purchase, and even sellers, when they get a letter from the bank, what's the difference between a pre-qualification letter and a pre-approval letter?
Okay, great. That's a good question. So a pre-qualification is typically when the borrower has made application, they've had their credit pulled, and we have run them through our automated underwriting system. And that allows us to get a pre-qualification letter to them and also to the realtors. The difference between the pre-qualification and a pre-approval is that on a pre-approval, we actually get their income and asset documents, and we look over those. They go to underwriting, and the underwriter conditions them and comes back with a pre-approval. So that allows you to know that we've actually received their documents and it has gone to underwriting.
And then that's when it goes through the underwriting. It's a certified pre-approval.
It is a certified pre-approval when it goes to the underwriter, and the underwriter sends back a certified pre-approval letter.
Which is really good, because just the pre-qualification is that they're just telling you, like, this is our this is how much we make, this is what we owe on other things, and then y'all pull the credit. Whereas with the pre-approval, they're actually showing you the documentation.
Exactly. It's much stronger, and that's a much stronger letter to be able to give when you're making the offer.
Yeah, especially
and putting that into the sellers.
Offers.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And it also shortens the time frame of the loan process too.
It does. So if we've done a pre-approval, then they've gone out and found a home. Essentially all we're doing after that is we're getting the appraisal, and they're doing their home inspection, they're getting their appraisal, and then it goes back to underwriting with the appraisal, but it cuts down some time that you're able to process the whole loan and get it to closing, so it's a much faster closing.
And that, it really does help. So what's y'all's typical turnaround time for the underwriting at SWBC?
So it starts off with me, with the originator. I'm the loan officer, and I originate the loan. Then it goes to processing, and then it goes to underwriting. And underwriting has a maximum of 3 days, but I've seen it come back as quickly as a day.
Oh, that's really good, because that's sometimes we hear about these loans that go into the underwriting phase, and it might be a full week plus, and we haven't heard anything. So that's really good turnaround times, especially if it's a max of 3 days. So we know that once it gets in there, it's going to be a pretty quick turnaround.
Yes, so it goes from me to the processor, who has a few days, and then the underwriter, who has up to 3 days, but we get it out really quickly. I also let, not only do I let the borrowers, but I let the real estate agents know where we are in the process of the loan. Yeah. So I'll let them know, hey, it's in processing, now it's in underwriting. It's out of underwriting with conditions, and we're getting those conditions.
Yeah. Well, you are a very good communicator on that, so
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it. So what are some, we already know the typical home buyers, the do's and don'ts when they're in the process of getting you don't need to go quit your job, get mad at your boss, or go change jobs. But what are some other things for borrowers not to do that might not think anything of it,
Well, definitely I've had a few different scenarios through my course of being a mortgage loan officer, and my favorite one is I had a couple that were doing a loan and they were dating. And one week they told me that they were engaged, and I was very excited for them. They said, oh, we're getting married in about a year. Well, a week later, they called me to say that they had gotten married over the weekend, and this was a USDA loan.
Oh, good.
And we had already sent it to USDA, so we had to pull that whole loan back, redo the package, and send it back. It wasn't a disqualifier or anything that could disqualify them, but it was something that possibly could have delayed the process. But because, thank goodness, they told me immediately, we were able to get everything back to USDA and close on time.
Well, I mean, and could it have caused, maybe if one of the spouses' credit wasn't as good, and I mean, could that have potentially caused it to be canceled, or
it possibly could have.
Yeah.
And then on debt to income, I had another scenario where someone, I think people typically know, don't go out and get a new car or don't go out and get a new credit card, but also don't max out your credit. So say you have a $10,000 credit card and you only have a few thousand on it. Don't go buy new furniture until after you've closed on the loan.
Yes, don't put the cart before the horse, and then max out your debt to income ratio too. So that's interesting about the marital status can cause a huge delay, potentially cancel the loan. So SWBC offers 4 types of renovation loans.
Yes.
And so now I would love to hear some about these. I'm sure some people listening probably would too, considering can condos apply for these, or is it just strictly single family residences?
Yes. So the 4 different types of renovation loans that we offer the Fannie Mae, we offer the FHA standard, and we offer the FHA limited, and then the VA. And on these, for example, on the Fannie Mae, we can do primary, second home, investment property, and we can also do condominiums. So for example, if this could be a good selling point if you're the listing agent, if it's an older condo or an older home that needs some renovation, maybe updated kitchen, new floors, new roof, we can actually do the renovation loan for the borrower, and it adds in, so you have your purchase price, then you add in your cost of construction or renovations, and we base that off of the total loan to value is off of the finished product.
Oh wow, so Fannie Mae will allow not just for second homes, but also for investment properties.
Yes,
and
investment
condos.
properties and condos.
Now these just don't apply for purchases. This can also apply for refinances.
Yes, it can apply for refinance. So if you have an older home that you want to do some renovations on, we can also do this program.
Okay, great. Because a lot of times you'll hear like the cash out refi, where some people might just do the conventional route, pull out the cash. But if there's not much equity, then they possibly could do the renovation loan.
Right, exactly, because we're going to base it off of, on a purchase, we're going to base it off the purchase price plus your contract for the renovations, and on a refinance, we're going to base it off of really the appraised value after
the repairs and
the
updates, which does increase the value. Whereas with the cash out refi, you're basing it on what the condition of the property is at that moment in time. So you don't have maybe as much leeway with the amount of money you can get for the renos. So that's really good to know. Now, do condos only apply for the Fannie Mae one? Is that correct?
Right. On FHA, it can be a condo on FHA if it's primary, but if it's investment property or second home, you have to go with Fannie Mae.
Okay. And with VA, it's obviously going to be the primary.
Right. On VA, it's primary.
But with that, is it have to be a single family, or can it be a condo?
It could be a condo, but the condo has to be VA approved.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. VA approved. All right. Well, good. Well, these are some really good options here. And I feel like, we'll have obviously a lot of information. We have flyers, so that we'll have her contact information at the end of the video, so that way you can contact her to get more information. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to us as well. And we appreciate you coming and speaking with us again. It's always a pleasure having you. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.